Hello and welcome back to another review with me, Kevin, from Kevin Grant on Whisky. This week we've got another independent bottler, some pretty famous one as well. It's Douglas Lane, and this is one of their bottlings called the Gauldrons. The Gauldrons is a blend from the Campbelltown region. This is edition number 6. It's a small batch bottling, edition number 6, 46.2%, non-chill filtered and no colouring. So we're getting what we like to see. We've got nothing there that's going to kind of throw us back, as we would say. This can be quite difficult to find at times because it is small batch. It is Campbelltown, one of the kind of harder regions to get whisky from just how small knit it is and hard to, well, 3 distilleries we've only got to choose from, so there's so much volume of people wanting that whisky. Not everyone can get it compared to if you went to the Highlands and Speyside. You've got tons and tons to choose from. You're always going to get your hands on something. So they've been able to make this. When we look at the Gauldrons as part of the range, they've also got Epicurean, Rock Oyster, Timorous Beastie, and Rock Island and Scallywag, and I think there might be another one or two in there. But that's them kind of hitting all the different regions of Highland Islands, and Speysides and Lowlands. So we've got everything we want. This whisky here, I'd been looking for. I got it again. It's another birthday whisky, which I'm quite happy I got. So I'm really looking forward to trying this. I've had it open, but again, I thought I'd give you my thoughts on it and a little review, which we're doing today. So we'll go through some kind of little facts and things I've been able to find. So 1948 is when we're established. So around about from Fred Lane, which there's 2 Fred Lanes. So Fred Lane had a son, also called him Fred, so he's junior, who's still with us today, and he has more or less a running of the business. The kind of fun fact, so 1940 is when this was found. 1950s I think is when Fred Jr. was born, but before Fred Jr., he didn't get taken straight into the business. His dad always had a philosophy of go and make mistakes somewhere else, learn your mistakes, and once you're ready, I'll take you in. So Fred joined the business in 1972, and he's been there ever since. And he takes over, I think, the global trade and all these other things, and sticks with the philosophy of non-chill filtered and natural colour to try and get as close as we can get to what it is coming from the cask, which I think is really, really good, because that's what we want. We look at the name, the Gauldrons, as well. What this actually means is the Bay of Storms. I had to write it down because I kept getting it back to front. So this means the Bay of Storms, the west coast of Campbelltown. So you kind of look at Campbelltown, you always get this kind of salty note, maritime, it is coastal, it's there, there's kind of small amounts of smoke in there, very light. But we look at a blend, we have Springbank, we have Kilkerran, and we have Glen Scotia. That's the 3 we've got there. So without knowing what is in here, we just have to kind of use imagination of, is it going to be all 3? Is it just going to be Glen Scotia, Springbank? Because it is a blend and it is saying it's all from Campbelltown, we've kind of got, suspect it's all going to be in there. But I think it's going to be kind of primarily maybe younger Kilkerran and Glen Scotia is going to be what is in here. That's my thoughts, but again, I don't know, and it's quite hard to find out. Maybe if I just phoned up and asked the question, they might let me know about it. So this whisky, if we look at it, it's nice and light. I can't find the cask makeup of it. It's 46.2%, as we said. Is that right? Yeah, 46.2%, as we said, non-chill filtered, natural colour. But I'm going to say this is all bourbon. Maybe a refill, because it is quite light. It's not a first fill, it's not a virgin oak, I would say, because it's not got that full hit in front of me that I'm getting. I'm not getting that full spice note. But I'm going to properly nose it now. I'm going to get in there, we're going to get onto taste notes. I've got another wee couple of things I was able to find out which I think are pretty cool about this as well. So let's get this on the nose first. Just having a wee twirl in the glass. The legs are staying there, it's oily, that natural kind of cask influence is staying in there, which I really like about a whisky. And I do love Campbelltown, so I'm looking forward to this. So on the nose, it's light. There's not a whole lot going on. as I usually get that kind of little slight coastal beachy note, which I'm getting again, that slight sweet salty note. Yeah, that kind of coastal salty note for sure. But it's light. It's not an in your face kind of, a lot of Isla. I get a lot of peat and a lot of sweet beachy notes, but this is quite light and just taking its time to come through. So it's easy on the nose, it's not offensive, it's not too difficult to figure out what's in there, I feel. But I like that as well. Simple but effective. Let's try this on the palate. Stand your ground. Just a wee bit of spice at the end. Nothing too much, but there's sweetness in behind there too. There's that kind of, what would I say? It's more like a icing sugar again, but watered down. It's not really sweet, which I thought it was going to be, that kind of explosive sweetness. It's nice. There's that little bit of oak in there. I feel it's light. That salty oceanic smell again. Just that wee bit of spice. Nice mouthfeel. Again, not too offensive. Just a little mix of, again, it feels like there's a little fight going on. Is it Glen Scotia? Is it primarily Glen Scotia? Is it primarily Springbank, Kilkerran? It feels like one's trying to be on top of the other here, and we just don't know what one it is, what the kind of makeup of it is. It's nice, but it's not an explosive, wow, this is an easygoing Campbelltown, light in colour, light on the nose, light on the palate, but very easy sipping, enjoyable dram. We'll look at the labelling on this as well, see if this will maybe capture it. There's a spider on there. And what I was able to find out about that, I'd never noticed that before until just having a little look around and everything. And what it is saying is that spider was when Robert the Bruce was down in the dark sandy coves where he was once writing poems and all these other things and doing what he done best. And there's a story that something he wrote was whilst he was there thinking of something, the next thing to write, he'd found a spider trying to build a web and it kept failing, but the spider kept trying and trying. And he wrote this and got this kind of philosophy of never to give up. Never give up, because this spider was trying to build its home, get its food. So he brought the philosophy along of never give up from sitting there in the dark sandy coves, seeing this. So there's a bit of history towards that and a lot of Scottish heritage to it, which I find is pretty cool. The bottle's pretty cool as well, a lot of gold and things on it. It's nice. Again, you can't really see the colour of the liquid, but if you looked at this, you would know it's quite light through the dark bottle because you can see right through it. And as you can see as well, once I've poured this, it is light. It is, I say, a bourbon cask, not a vicious acting cask with the kind of the liquid that's been inside there. Not an age statement, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to say it's kind of going to be, I would say, a mix of kind of older and younger liquid, and I'm going to suspect there's going to be a little bit more older liquid in there compared to the younger, just for how settled it is and how it's not that active on the palate. But we'll go in for one more. Wee dram, see what we get. I've got a Scallywag in there, I think, from Christmas. I've tried more or less the full range. I like the Rock Island a lot. And I do like this. I've had a couple of drams out and I've really enjoyed it. So I'm just trying to see if there's anything else. Adding water to this, I feel completely would kill it off. The 46.2%, it kind of drinks like a 40%. That really light, it doesn't attack the palate, doesn't attack the tongue. doesn't attack the burn on the way down. It's just an easy going dram. So it's just in that oceanics, slightly sweet, a little bit salty. And that's the kind of main things I'm getting from that. And I kind of more of a sweet water, if that makes sense. Maybe like sugar and water, it's got that kind of hit to it. So it stays sweet. There's a really nice spice at the end. Like, it's not a huge whoa, it's spice. It really complements that sweetness. It's very kind of evenly matched on it. Sweet at the start, a little bit of spice at the end, no burn, easy going, simplistic whiskey. If you're not too sure of Campbelltown, if you look at Springbanks, how they're their own entity, you've got Glen Scotia, their own entity. I love them both. Kilkerran, absolutely love as well. This is maybe a gateway in to trying different Campbelltowns and potentially all three at once. Just, again, I don't know what the makeup is. I've enjoyed it. I'm going to continue to enjoy it. As I say, it's one that I think if I'm struggling to pick a dram for the night, this is a bottle I can reach for, because I know it's not going to do too much, it's not going to do too little. It just hits a nice sweet spot. Campbelltown, I usually get a little bit of smoke. This kind of little bit of tiny bit of smoke. I'm not getting it from this. Maybe some other people will, but today I'm not feeling it. Maybe if I drink this again at the weekend, I might find a little bit of smoke in there, but just now I'm not. I'm just enjoying it. It's a nice day. It feels like the perfect whiskey for today. Light bourbon cask. ABV hits a good spot. It's a little bit sweeter, a little bit lighter. It's not heavy. The sherry whiskey's starting to take that back seat for me just now. That's more the kind of Christmas time, the darker days. It's more this really nice bourbon cask influence I'm trying to find. So I'm going to go and sit back. I'm going to finish this, as I always do. You know, if you've been here long enough, you know by now it's my time to go sit back and take some more re-notes of it. But again, thanks everyone who's subscribed, who follows. If you've not done so already, hit that. Every Friday there's something coming out. I'll start going back to my Versus challenge soon, because I'm nearly out my full collection now since I've started this. I've started this channel. So if there's anything you want me to do, leave something in the comments. If you want me to try something different or something I've reviewed before I can re-review, just let me know. But again, I appreciate all your support. But as always, I've been Kevin from Kevin Grant on Whisky. Enjoy me next week, and let's talk whiskey. Slange.